You do take that injunction in Revelation quite seriously, this idea that God will spit out a lukewarm Christian.
Yeah.
Many people may feel uncomfortable with that, you know, well, what about grace? What about the fact that it's not about what we do, God accepts us on the basis of what he's done for us.
Absolutely.
How do you kind of balance that?
Yeah, but when you look at his grace is shown in changing us and making us like his son. That passage, you know, it's interesting, even that phrase, lukewarm Christian, I don't see that in the scripture. He refers to these people as lukewarm, and he also refers to them as blind, naked, poor, wretched, pitiable. And he says, I'm going to spit you out of my mouth because you're lukewarm. Now, I don't see that as a description of a believer.
So
as
are
a
you
Christian.
saying that if you are lukewarm, basically you're not a Christian?
That's what I see in Revelation 3. I don't know how you can read that passage and call that person a Christian, because a Christian's not going to be spit out of the mouth of God.
I mean, that's quite a significant statement, because it would suggest then that on the face of it, you see a lot of churches in America that are simply full of people who aren't actually Christians.
Absolutely. Because it's always been that way. And Jesus explains, look, it's going to be the wheat and the tares. It's going to be this group of people that grow together, and at the time of harvest, he's going to show who's for real. You know, it's from the beginning of that book, you see Israel, and yet he says not all of Israel, everyone who's, you know, Israel by nationality is true Israel. There'll be that remnant, there'll be those believers within that midst. And in the same way as there are millions and millions of people gathering in what we call these church buildings, those aren't all followers of Jesus Christ. Jesus says you can look at their lifestyles and you can tell that. First John says there'll be people who say that they know him, but he says, but because they don't obey his commands, he says they're liars. It doesn't say, oh, you know, maybe they're believers that haven't changed yet. He just says, no, you can look at their lifestyles and know that they're liars. And there's this wide road that leads to destruction, and many will go through it. But there's this narrow road that leads to life, and few will find it. And we want to tell the world, just like the world wants to say, everyone's going to heaven. There is no hell. And the church almost follows suit with that, of saying we're all believers, you know, in this room, because we all prayed a prayer at some point in our life. I just don't see that in the scriptures.